A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to ladies and gentlemen from all over the world. I'm WIE LEONG from Malaysia. I'm the MC of the Open Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, Women in Engineering is a standing committee of the World Federations of Engineering Organization with the purpose of empowering women in engineering and technology. So, vision is to promote equality, diversity, and inclusivity in the engineering. Our mission is to harness the collaborative power of groups to attract, retain, and promote the cause of female. And we also hope to promote the innovation and technology to achieve sustainable world that leave no one behind. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our Chair Lady of Women in Engineering, Engineer Dr. Enyonam, to present her opening speech. Our Chair Lady is a manager of Information and Communication Technology Project Delivery and Program Management Office Lead at the Electricity Company of Ghana. She's also a council member of the Ghana Institutions of Engineering. Let's welcome our Chair Lady. Thank you.
Thank you very much, WIE, and thank you everyone for joining. It's a privilege and an honor for us to host the first webinar ever since we took office. And so on behalf of the entire Women in Engineering Committee, Executive Committee, I would like, and on behalf of WFEO, I would like to welcome everyone to this forum. Our Honorable President, I don't know if he's been able to join us, of WFEO, Engineer Mustafa Shehu, all presidents and chairs of women in engineering groups within WFEO regions and professional engineering institutions, the Executive Director, WFEO, Mr. Jack de Merel, WFEO WIE team leads, WFEO WIE members, officers of WFEO Secretariat, Ivan, who is with us, who has always been with us, Theo, who has always been with us, and Jack, and with the WIE Secretariat, officers and engineers within the WIE Secretariat here in Ghana, fellow engineers, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great honor to welcome everyone to the first 2024 Open Forum webinar of the Committee on Women in Engineering of WFEO. It is indeed a great privilege for the committee to host this webinar for the first time since my appointment as chair of the Committee on Women in Engineering. And I especially want to use this opportunity to thank everyone for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I would like to thank you for the support we have received so far, and also thank you for honoring our invitation and making time to join us for this webinar today. As detailed in our program outline, the purpose of the Open Forum is to officially provide members with a short report on the activities that we've undertaken by the committee since we took over the chairship of this committee, and introduce the members to the WFEO WIE Executive Committee, and then also allow the theme leads to also throw more light on the WIE strategic themes and 2024 plan. Over the past 4 years, WIE has been working on activities towards the achievement of its strategic themes, which have been reviewed. WIE's 4 strategic themes are: first, that's theme 1, engineering workforce capacity building to increase diversity and inclusivity in the future skills pipeline. The second theme is to encourage female engineering retention and leadership. The third theme is collection of engineering strategic indicators. And then the fourth theme is working in partnership to address the sustainable development goals. Our particular emphasis is on goal 5 and its relationship with the other goals. Dear WFEO WIE members, dear participants, I would like to request that we all align our activities with WIE strategic objectives and ensure that we are executing our activities to achieve them. Today, we are privileged to receive insights from each of the team leads who will be providing us with information on each team and the plan for this year. After hearing from our team leads, we will do an open session where we will take questions and suggestions from members to ensure that we collectively understand our vision, our mission, strategic objectives, and how we can individually contribute towards the achievement of our goals. I gladly welcome everyone to the Open Forum webinar and ask for your full support to make this event a success. Thank you very much. And this event is officially open. Thank you. Why? We can't hear you.
Thank you, Chair Ladies. We have 4 teams under Women in Engineering. We would like to welcome Team 1 lead, Engineer Sharon, to present the projects and plans on Team 1, Engineering Workforce Capacity to Increase Diversity and Inclusivity in the Future Skill Pipeline.
Please, before she comes in, why can I give a short report?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll just give a brief report. I'll run through my slides as quickly as possible, and then Team 1 can take charge. So our report, I think the MC has talked about our vision and our mission. The vision is to promote equality, diversity, and inclusivity. And then the mission statement is to harness all our collaborative power to attract, retain, and promote the cause of females and all underrepresented groups using innovation technology to achieve a sustainable world. So we have 4 themes which I've mentioned already. Our operating principles are such that the Ghana Institution of Engineering is hosting the Secretariat for the year 2024 to 2027. And we are working through the assigned team leads, and we have representatives on the executive committee. That's the team leads are coming from each of our regions. We're making sure that each of the regions are represented. But we have a shortfall in the Arab region. And so if our Arab sisters are here, our Arab engineers are here, we want you all to take note and then express interest to serve on this executive body. And so I will just run through the pictures of each of the team leads. I'm the chair. The deputy is WIE engineer, Prof. WIE from Malaysia. She's the one who is the MC for this event. And then we have the secretariat. I have 2 engineers on board the secretariat, engineers Mavis and engineer Felicia. They are working as organizer and coordinator in the WFEO. We also have 2 administrators, Zipporah and then Aisha, working with me from the secretariat. Then Team 1 leads will talk today. We've heard from WIE, she's a Team 1 lead, and also deputizing with me. And then Engineer Sharon from Zambia is also on the Team 1 strategic team. Then we have Engineer Jitu from Ethiopia, and then Manshit Jovian Shen from Hong Kong, working on Team 2. Then we have Yvette Ramos from Switzerland, and then Jeanette Southwood from Canada working on Team 3. And we have Dawn, Agness. Dawn is from UK, Agness is from Zambia, Maria Noelia is from, Peru, sorry. She is working on Team 3 and Team 4. And then we have our advisors. We all know our immediate past chair, Engineer Holloway, Yetunde, and Tessie, the past administrative officer. We have them on the executive body. to advise us whenever the need arises. And what we have done so far, we've completed a number of activities. We've tried to set up the secretariat, admin and governance processes. We've completed nominations and selection processes for the team leads. We've also completed orientation processes for all the executive body. We've held 3 team lead meetings, and we've established the operations and activity calendar. And so this year, we are looking forward to another activity, a number of webinars, and we are hopeful that we can do at least 2 more webinars before we end the year. And we also working on publishing at least 2 newsletters before we end the year. So upcoming events include an inward webinar that is on 21st. I think Team 4 will throw more light on this. And then we're working with a PEI so we can align all WIE activities with the strategic objectives. We hope to implement all the activities or the plans that will be projected today by the team leads and ensure that we have WIE representation on all WFEO STCs and WFEO committees. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our beautiful ladies. So let's welcome the Team 1 leads, Engineer Sharon, to present the plans and activity for Team 1. She's currently the Vice President of Membership and Continuous Professional Development at the Engineering Institution of Zambia. Let's welcome Engineer Sharon.
Engineer Sharon, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are around the globe. And I would like to welcome you to this webinar on the presentation of Theme 1 Lead. My name is Engineer Sharon Mabengwa Musonda, and I'm going to take you into the presentation of our Theme 1. So Theme 1 is basically looking at, sorry, Madam Coordinator, should I share or you share on my behalf?
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So Theme 1 is looking at engineering workforce capacity building to increase diversity and inclusivity in the future skills pipeline. Thank you. So engineering workforce capacity building is under the WFEO Committee. So I'll start with a caption or a quote by our chair under capacity building, who's Engineer Martin Manua, who has said that capacity building in the engineering environment is a lever for economic, social, and sustainable development, and is recognized as a priority in the global engineering community, end of quote. And I'm sure that you acknowledge that being women, we play a pivotal role in the economic and social and sustainable development of our countries and the globe as a whole. So the third slide is talking about inclusivity and diversity in the future pipeline skills. Inclusivity, it all talks about how it promotes creativity, it brings a sense of belonging. It also promotes teamwork because we are bringing different cultures together, we're bringing different traditions together, and how we have worked in the different parts of the world. And we are now trying to see how we can move forward, improve decision-making, and increased innovation and creativity. We can go to our next slide, please. So under Theme 1, we are saying engineering workforce capacity building to increase diversity and inclusivity in the future skills pipeline. So the Women in Engineering is committed to capacity building programs, which will, 1, attract a diverse future generation. Secondly, champion the reduction of the gender digital divide. Thirdly, work with partners, provide guidance on creating and maintaining inclusive cultures. Fourthly, create opportunities for employers to drive strategy. and then also extend the focus of our diversity and inclusion activity beyond gender to the other underrepresented groups and recognize the impact of intersectionality, engage engineering PEIs in using the case studies to rebuild a culture of inclusion across the engineering profession. Last but not the least, use our membership to identify innovative policies and programs, measures and conditions needed to attain gender balance, eliminate violence, and promote inclusive representation in the engineering sector. So as earlier on mentioned by our chair, we are two theme leads under theme 1, and that's Professor WIE. Under theme 1, we're going to host a special WIE session at ICIT conference. And then secondly, there will be 3 webinars on women in engineering and leadership. So we expect all of us who are participating in this webinar to just watch out for the dates on when these activities will take place. So activities to be covered in this year of 2024 have mentorship programs to young women and girls, discuss inclusivity and diversity. Secondly, visit and inspire students in universities and colleges to promote women participation in STEM and inspire the young women. Thirdly, have a panel discussion by female candidates under the Engineering Institution of Zambia, that's pertaining to where I'm situated, and other engineering bodies within the region via webinar to discuss inclusivity and diversity in male-dominated professional bodies. That's in line with theme 1. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate.
Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome talents, we welcome comments and feedback. So feel free to pen down your comments as given in the chat box. We also welcome volunteers to be part of the team. Next, we would like to talk on theme 2, which is on engineering workforce capacity building to encourage female engineering retentions and leadership. Let's welcome Engineer Jitu and Joanne Chong from Hong Kong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for giving me this chance. My name is Jitu Kebede. I'm from Ethiopia. I'm present from engineering workforce capacity building to encourage female engineering retention and leadership. Our team, the engineering workforce capacity building to encourage female engineering retention and leadership. The first one activity, promote to support our members. Their activity enables them to research leadership position and celebrate them through visibility of their work and their global activity. Perform indicator for number 1, ongoing communication through new settlement, WhatsApp, and other means to promote, amplify workers and voice of WIE members. 2024 action plan, 4 new settled per years. Keep log of member activity, promote WIE members retention and leadership. The current status baseline for 2024. New settler almost ready for circulation. When we come to the second, creates rich resource of global women in engineering contact to be used in participation, opportunity for engineering activity, performance indicators for second, up-to-date rich database of members and other contacts. 2024 action plan for the second, develop and circulate form of WIE members to fill and provide essential details. For current status, WFEO and WIE membership list received from WFEO. 16 form of entire receives. When we come to the third, encourage innovation, deliberation on startup and entrepreneurship. Performance indicator showcases females entrepreneur and up-to-date database of women in engineering and technology, entrepreneur global in WIE database, and signpost of any entrepreneurship programs available to members or other stakeholders. 2024 action plan, female engineering technology entrepreneur feature in WFEO, WIE new settle for per years. search for posts and promotes at least 4 entrepreneurship programs per year to members or other stakeholders. Current status baseline at 2024, new settle almost ready for circulation. When we come to 4, work with WFO to ensure inclusive WFEO performance indicator at a delivery and inclusive WFEO organization. 2024 action plans identify improvement required to support inclusion. When you come to 5, activities, work with UNESCO to deliver recommendation of the 2021 UNESCO engineering report. Performance indicator, UNESCO engineering report launched 2024 action plan, recommendations from report that WIE supports identifies. Current status of baseline 2024 reports identify and being reviewed. The 6th one, encouraging building inclusive cultures in the existing workplace and PEIS, performance indicators, completion of global reports and successful initiative with building inclusive corporate culture yearly. 2024 action plans, compliance 2025 reporting best practicing initiatives to building inclusive cultures. When you come to 7, engaging in, encouraging and promote activities that retain and mentor the next generation of female engineering and leaders. Performance indicator, group in mentoring program established and ongoing at global level. Action plans for 2024, continue group mentoring, initiating from where 2023 team leaders stopped. Current status baseline at 2024, concept notes received and under review. At last, engineering work for capacity building to encourage female engineering retention and leadership, work with WFEO, WIE members to publish quarterly news settler of WI activity, develop up-to-date database and profile WFEO, WIA members, showcase WFEO, WIA leaders and entrepreneurs, ensure inclusive WFEO organization, comply and publish report gender inclusive effective across WFEO, PEIS, establish group mentoring at global level. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Jitu. So we representing women engineering in the whole world, and we welcome talents. We hope to have you to join our team. Feel free to pen down your questions and provide your feedback so that we could work together. Ladies and gentlemen, Team 3's Engineering Strategic Indicators by Yvette from Switzerland and Janet from Canada. Thank you.
Dear all, thank you, Ms. Wei, for the presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be as short as possible on this. Theme 3 is very important as we try to measure what we treasure. I think this is very key, and if some of you have heard about what Janet has worked out and led works previously for her previous mandate, we know that she already worked hard on trying to collect at least one indicator that is basically the percentage of licensed engineers who are women. Because in that case, once we know that the percentage is that much, for example, in France, we are 24%, in Portugal, 21.6%, etc. Then we know what is the action plan for establishing a gender equality scorecard and engaging on some actions, initiatives across the world. So I'm recalling here what are the theme 3 different activities. You can see that we have not advanced a lot on the different performance indicators and the current status. Actually, Janet and myself, we didn't have the chance yet to work fully on that yet, but we want to have that plan. And for myself, I have seen that, of course, this is my proposal for those different activities, that is to create a methodology, to get evidence on the regional and global gender gaps in engineering, to create this global standardized gender equality scorecard for WFEO and partners, and then to integrate this gender mainstreaming into an action plan and into policies across WFEO and the partners. Then that's what we want to do. The most important is to work in partnership with WFEO members, other national and international engineering organizations. So this is a key strategic axe that we need absolutely to reinforce, because to me personally, I've been engaged in the WFEO process actually since the WIE was already started to be co-designed back in 2007. It takes still a long way before we have that partnership absolutely strengthened. So the first thing that we want to do is absolutely to create that methodology. And to create that methodology is not something that we have to think right from scratch, because in fact, we already have members like in France or Switzerland or other countries that I'm sure, I don't know, of course, all of them, but I know there's already at national member level a methodology to measure the disaggregated data of engineers. So we have to get those data from the members. So what we propose, what I do propose, and what I hope to propose is by Q3 2024 this year, presentations of these co-designed methodology and of, can you hear?
Yes.
Sorry. So, and of course, an acceptance at the exec board of the WFEO, which I think we have not had the chance yet to get so far. I think some mics are open. If you can just close your mics, please, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. On the second item, activity, of course, we have to analyze those data as collected above to establish prima facie evidence on the gaps. So we don't have enough resources for this. Of course, we are all volunteers, as you know, and it's a huge task to measure what we treasure already at national level. So we need absolutely to go back to number one and get a methodology be validated. So we have to ask the members to send us validated data. If we say that we want to have the percentage, the ratio of women engineers in that country, the country has to give that to us. And actually, that's the board, the tab that I presented you that Janet already collected. Then once we have that, of course, we can establish a gender scorecard automatically, and there are many tools for that, and the AI is helping us, of course, on that. And then we can have that index per country, region. We can organize and propose the aligned policies and dedicated initiatives to reduce those gaps with, of course, alignment to the UNESCO policies and to the global UN proposals, like it was discussed, for example, in March this year in CSW, the Committee of Status and the Women of UN Women in New York in March. Like every year they have that specific event. And we were present, and the focus was on how to perform better with women and girls in STEM. So there are many ideas on how to dress up policies at national and regional and global levels. So just a few hints here that we have. The ratio of women at the global engineering workforce is approximately 13%, so obviously not enough. We are more than 50% of the world, so we have to get to there. In 2020, for example, in European Union, I'm not saying it's a good example, but it is there. We have all the sources are there. So we have every 2 years a report that is called the SHE report, SHE, to know where the women, what the woman does and what the woman is and what are their diplomas. And when we extract the ratio of women in STEM, we are at 41%, with good candidates and less good candidates. Highest numbers, for example, 52% includes Portugal, Lithuania, and Denmark. And out of these reports as well, we have proportion of women in technical roles in tech companies that is roughly a third of the global manpower, women and manpower. An example is the report that I like very much that has been conducted in a partnership between IESF, which is the French national WFEO member with men and women, and the Femmes Ingénieurs Association, which is the women engineers in France. So they collaborate since many years, and they agree on certain numbers, ratios, etc. that actually we got, and that's why we have that in the WFEO scorecard. We have that number of 24% women engineers actually in France. So I think this is personally a good methodology they're using, but of course this is Europe. We should have one at least in Latin America, one in North America, one in Africa, of course, or different ones in Africa, and Middle East and Northern Africa, and of course Asia Pacific. So once we collaborate well among all the members and we define a methodology that is accepted, then we can continue to work. And I'll just finish with these. In coming weeks, what we want to do with Jeanette is work on that methodology. Why not create and actually present a paper at the next conference? I've got ideas for a conference where we speak about gender in STEM, basically. And we have to decide on a motion to be presented and, of course, process with all members once it is okay to measure what we treasure. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Madam. Ladies and gentlemen, representing women in engineering globally, we work closely with UNESCO, United Nations, and many professional bodies. Team 4 is on working in partnership to address the Sustainable Development Goals, with a particular emphasis on Goal 5 and the relationship with other goals. Let's welcome Professor Dawn from United Kingdom, Madam Maria from Peru, and Engineer Agness from Zambia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, WIE. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
We'll just get this into presenter mode. So as WIE has said, are you all okay? You can see the slides okay and hear me? So theme 4, working in partnership to address the Sustainable Development Goals, particular emphasis on Goal 5, gender equality. As you have heard, there are 3 of us in this theme. Me from the UK, Agness, and Agness from Zambia, Maria from Peru. So Goal 5, this is slightly different from the other goals, because what this is all about is not looking so much at the engineering sector itself and the diversity and inclusion and equality in the sector, but looking at how engineering is serving women. So what can we do to use and enhance to use engineering and technology to enhance the lives of women globally? So it's all about looking at theme 5, Goal 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals, and looking at those different targets for Goal 5, but looking at how Goal 5, all of the other Sustainable Development Goals, and engineering work in partnership so that we have this sort of nexus of those 3 different parts of the triangle. So what can we do as engineers to serve women and to increase the livelihoods and the lives of women? So we've got, with theme 4, so we've got these 6 different activity areas. There's a lot of information on this slide and I won't go through it all now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly go through each one of those activity areas individually. So the first action 1.0, is looking at this Goal 5 itself. So understanding more about the targets for Goal 5. And if you've looked at Goal 5, you will realise it's not very engineering related. It's about ending discrimination against women, eliminating forms of violence and harmful practice, recognising and valuing unpaid care and domestic work, ensuring women's full participation and equal opportunities, And then the one that is 5B, actually, the one that is most closely linked to our work is this 5B, enhance the use of enabling technology to promote the empowerment of women. But what we're trying to do is try to go through each one of those targets of goal 5 and translate it, if you like, or map it onto engineering and see what that actually looks like to us in the engineering sector. So you can see how we've started to do this and what the examples of the engineering response are. So just for an example, 5.1, ending all forms of discrimination. So in engineering, that looks like making sure that our pathways into the engineering sector are not, there's no discrimination that women and girls face in those pathways, for example, and, you know, and eliminate inequality in the workplace. So the second action we've got is examine the gender perspective, so goal 5 in relation to the other sustainable development goals. So looking at each one of these different goals in turn and saying, for example, what are the issues around gender when we're thinking about education, or when we're thinking about hunger, or when we're thinking about poverty? So how does that relate to women? And then what can engineering do to address those issues? So we started doing these actually, and they are full-size pop-up banners that we hope to have one of these days in a display when we're all together again. So the whole suite of these 17 sustainable development goals, with a focus on how that goal relates to women and the engineering response. So that's a piece of ongoing work. We've got those 8 of them. So we've got to complete the whole set. So action 4.3 is around, in particular, climate change, because WFEO had a climate change declaration a few years ago. And we worked very hard for that climate change declaration for WFEO to make sure the gender perspective was mainstreamed in the work, in how we speak about climate change. So climate change is one of the areas in particular that we are able to talk about, how women are more vulnerable to climate change, how they can be very effective actors when it comes to mitigation and adaptation of climate change, and how we can use technology and innovation towards gender equality. The fourth one, 4.4, is looking at the work of our own members and the sustainable development goals that they work on. So we heard earlier from Jitu on theme 2 that we are compiling these biographies of our own members in the Women in Engineering Committee, but also the members of other committees, and also linking to those other women members of other committees, so that we get good database, if you like, and a good picture of who the role models are and which of the sustainable development goals they're working on. And one of the reasons for doing this is so that when we come to organising conferences through WFEO, for example, we're in a position to be able to say, okay, so you're talking about water over here. We've got a great database of women who work in the water sector that we can recommend for speaking at this conference, because what we're trying to do is get representation, visible representation. So at those conference levels, so we don't have panels that are all men, so that we, you know, when we are asked who do we recommend to speak at those panels, we have some available people on our databases. And this is one of the examples of one of our members that we've been pulling together. 4.4, again, this is the same activity, but we're also doing this through our knowledge sharing webinars, and we have one coming up, and this is a bit of a plug for the next one that's coming up in June. It's around the time of International Women in Engineering Day, INWED, which is annually on the 23rd of June. This one's coming up on the 21st of June. And this is about, the theme this year is the lives of women enhanced by engineering. So we're looking for people to speak about how engineering is being used to enhance the lives of women. And we're actually looking for panelists at the moment. So if any of you are listening, you've got something to say on this particular area, then please do get in touch with me and say, this is what I'd like to speak about. I will put my email in the chat, or somehow we'll share it. so that you can get in touch with me directly. And we've also got something out on email, I think, calling for those abstracts. 4.5, bringing the gender perspective into the work of the other committees so that we're mainstreaming gender. This is a really good example from a recent water report, and it's really looking at how we need to look at water through a gender lens so that we make sure we are not kind of blinded, if you like, by one way of thinking, that we understand that women's roles are often very different in different communities and in different parts of the world. So understanding that when we're creating solutions. And then finally, 4.6 is in collaboration with the other WIE themes, organising of an art competition. And this will be the 3rd year that we've been running this art competition. It's a STEAM, so incorporating art into STEM to create a STEAM virtual art competition. And we're launching that in the next few weeks, and that will be open for entries until sometime later in the year. So we're just going through the details of that at the moment. So look out for that. That's for young children, boys and girls. So that's all I wanted to say from my side, and that's theme 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, the Committee for Women in Engineering has given women engineers across different countries an opportunity for knowledge sharing across all disciplines of engineering, thereby positioning the woman engineer for better professional delivery. The next sections will be moderated by Engineer Yvette.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wei. Can you hear me well? Yes. In fact, I would like to give the speech now to Ms. Aji. Agness, a few conclusive words, infame, for this session. Please let me introduce the panelist, Engineer Agness, who has worked to support and mentor women and girls in the STEM field for many years now, especially as co-founder and chairperson of the Zambia Women in Engineering section, ZWES, and as a member of the exec team of our dearest WFEO WIE Committee. As you may know, as an active member of WomenVI, she was also a panelist at several events held on the margins of the CWS 68 of UN Women this March in New York. Aji, please, it's your turn.
Thank you, Yvette. Thank you so much. These discussions have been very informative, and in her opening remarks, the chair of WFEO WIE, Engineer Enyonam, mentioned the objective of this open forum. You know, this executive has not been in office for a very long time. We are only maybe a few months in office, and the whole objective of this open forum is to give more information to the members, because we cannot achieve on our own. We need your involvement. So we wanted to give more information to you, our members, because we'll be working with you, closely with you. So all the theme leads have all spoken about their activities, their action plans, and deliverables. So very soon we'll be rolling out a lot of information for you, the members, to participate. Yes, so all the strategic objectives, all the 4 strategic objectives are pointing to sustainable development goal number 5, which is achieving the gender equality and empowering all women and girls, and its relation to the other 16 SDGs. So you can see we have a lot of work to do, and you know we are 6 years away from 2030, and we've got a target for 2030. And the current data right now are showing that we have about 80% of men that are working in the science and engineering fields. So we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work. The past executive did a lot of work, but we have a lot of work ahead of us to do. So this was the whole purpose of coming up with this open forum, and I'm sure it was very informative to you. At least you know what fellow women in engineering, because the chair spoke about the mission, the vision. Yes, so the information is there. You can also visit the website and see. Yeah, so we've got theme 1 and theme 2 that are looking at capacity building. You know, we have a very big gap in leadership as women. Also, encouraging the young girls to take up STEM courses. So we have a lot of work, and also mentorship, which theme 1 and 2 are looking at. So we've got theme 3 that is looking at the data. As Yvette mentioned, we cannot, we need to measure what we treasure, which is very, very important. So for us to know that we've achieved the targets for 2030, for 2050, we need to measure those targets. And lastly, the theme lead for theme 4 talked about the importance of partnership. Partnership is very important. We can only achieve if we work in partnership with other organizations. And also SDG number 5 has a lot of relationship with the other 16 strategic objectives. So I'd like to thank you. This is what I have summed up. I think over to you, Madam Moderator. Thank you so much.
Please, we have some questions in the question this thing.
Yeah, I know, Ms. Chair. Maybe before going to the questions, if everybody could turn on the webcam, if you don't mind, we would like to not miss the opportunity and not forget to take a group picture, if you don't mind. So all of you, we are more than 50, 60 here. So if you don't mind to take 1 second and turn on your camera. I'm sorry, Ms. Chair, if I interrupt your question, but we'll go to the questions right away.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you. So if please smile, say cheers or we, and we can have a series of pictures, and then we can share in the group chat. Can I say another one? 3, 2, 1, cheers. Thank you very much. I hope I got that picture right. And if you have, please another smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I've got a few series of pictures, and I'm sorry if I'm missing somebody. Now let's go back, Chair, to the series of questions. I've actually one of them, shall I share my screen, Chair, for the questions? Or?
I think so. I think so.
I can share my screen, no problem. Give me 1 second. I think we have already a few answers, by the way, on the last column. But if you see the first question actually was from my treasurer of Swiss Engineering Geneva, Catherine, who told me that it's true, we're going to, and actually I'm sure it's the case in many of your organizations, that we are preparing budget for next year and would like to know when and where we will be gathering the WIE Committee. So I can see that there's a response already. As far as I know, we are meeting in Kigali in October. So if we have a share calendar, if I may, it would be fantastic to maybe create a share calendar. I don't know who can do that, but in a Google form, that would be fantastic, because myself, for example, I know there's a gathering of women engineers who speak Spanish and Portuguese in Portugal at the end of, think of November or something like that. Maybe the lady from Peru can confirm, but there's also a meeting there. At the global level, I think it's Kigali in October, correct? Can you
Yes.
confirm, Chair? Okay. The next question, I'm working on a project with Soul Train, Gender and Diversity. Would like to identify synergies of possible areas of collaboration. So this is from Karen Gibson. I don't know if Karen is here, but don't just respond that she will contact Karen just in case. That's fantastic. And please don't forget we have the opportunity for anything linked to climate change, etc., to go to Bonn in June. So for those who are interested, we still have 3 seats badges that we can provide for the UNFCCC, and we are preparing, of course, for the COP. As far as Swiss Engineering, Geneva, and myself, we are concerned. The third question, Chair, is the goal is gender equality. How do we address female empowerment without leaving boys and men behind? This is Samukele from Zambia. Who would like to answer? Maybe the leadership theme lead would like to answer on that one. I think it was well expressed, by the way, already. Educating boys and be inclusive with the men. That's what we try to do at the WFEO, even if it's challenging sometimes. But would you like to answer, take the lead on that, please? So the question is, how do we address female empowerment without leaving boys and men behind? Actually, this reminds me of a question, and actually Aji was there at UN Women in New York in March. We were invited to the town hall with in presence of the UNSG, Mr. Guterres. I asked the questions, how we do balancing, and he said we don't have time, we have to put quotas in. Aji, can you tell that? Can you confirm what he said? Because you were right away beside me.
No, Yvette, you can say it better. But in addition, Yvette, I just want to mention about the workshop that we are strategically doing. We are targeting both boys and girls. We are not leaving them behind, because most of our programs that we are doing, we are not only targeting girls, we are also targeting. So there is actually in Zambia, there is an upcoming workshop where we want to expose the young girls and boys aged between the ages of 11 and 12, where we want to give them simple technical instructions. The objective of this is to break down the gender stereotype that are surrounded, just to tell them that engineering is not only for men. We do not want to have an all male field. We also want to tell the girls that this is what the engineers are doing, and they need to embrace the STEM subjects. So it's an all-inclusive. So that's how we are working as women in engineering.
Yeah, so it's a workshop that we designed in Switzerland a few years ago. It's a small kit that helps them together, boys and girls working together. So we of course explore the gender stereotypes, etc. And to build an electrical game in very simple mode, it takes about 1.5 hours. And it's Swiss Engineering who did that, and we exported it in partnership with WomenVi, of course, and we did that in Mauritania, Benin, etc. And when we were together with Aji and the other delegates of WomenVi at UN Women, we did a Train the Trainers workshop. So I think, Aji, this is where you learned about that, and you're going to do that standalone mode on the 24th June. Is that correct? At the Inuit occasion day.
The 20th. It's the 20th of
June. So as soon as you have the flyer, please just spread it around. I think it's very important, and it actually maybe partially, but actually raises this issue of how we do more inclusiveness right from the boys' age also.
Yes.
The other question is, do you think that with girls' education being a top 10 climate change intervention, that one day educating a woman, especially in STEM, will be able to offset carbon footprint? Wow, this is a question from Senegal, Ms. Soumare, from the organization Kaori, which I don't know, sorry, but I think this is the full theme for a thesis, a PhD thesis. We're not going to answer that now, but yes, I think that, of course, working together, men and women together, girls and boys, towards that same target, that's what we aim at. Also to avoid the most vulnerable aside from the climate change impact issues. Maybe Chair, you would like to add something, or the other colleagues on that specific question about girls' education as being a top 10 climate change intervention. We hope really that one day educating a girl and woman, especially in STEM, will be able to offset carbon footprint. I hope so, right?
There are hands up. Dawn has an answer.
Oh, please, Dawn, sorry, I didn't see your hand. Please go ahead. And
Maria too.
I'm not sure it's a complete answer, but we did do some work last year about gender equality and the influence of increasing gender equality to, in fact, all of the other goals. And gender equality, I think, is one of the second or third levers that we have. It's like the golden thread of if you increase gender equality, you increase every single outcome from the other goals. It is a huge lever. Energy, renewable energy is probably the top lever, I think. So we do know that by educating young people and young girls in particular, we are improving climate change. It takes more than education, though. It will take a lot of behaviour change. But we know also that women are the gatekeepers of lots of the energy processes and of the purchasing processes as well. So we know that they have a big influence on whether to buy, electric heat pumps and as consumers, whether to turn down the heating or whether to, around food waste. So we know that education of women is very important for climate change purposes.
Thank you, Dawn. Please, Maria, go on. Maria?
Dear all, I'm going to speak in representation of Engineer Maria. Can you see me? Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Okay, great. A comment from Engineer Noelia Centty on topic 4 is as follows. Working on gender equality leads us to have results with the integration of the SDGs in a transversal way. Who better than us to work on improving and expanding gender equality opportunities, promoting equal roles through integration, and what it starts from home. So that's the comment from her. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see if there are other hands raised. Please let me know if you want to.
Okay.
Go. Okay. There's a question now from Botswana, the Southern Africa Federation of Engineers Organization. So Miss Linda is representing SAFEO, comprising all SADC countries. They are currently establishing committees and presentations, thus far very informative, and would you share the presentations? And again, do you have a strategic plan that we can share with them? So, Chair, would you like to answer to Ms. Linda Moseki, please? of course, we have a strategic plan, and of course, we can probably share the presentation.
So, yes, the question says, dear all, I'm representatives of comprising all South Africa countries. We are currently establishing committees and presentations. That's far very informative, and would you share our we will share our presentations. Again, we are asking if we have a strategic plan that regional bodies within FAIO can align with. SAFIO is also ready to collaborate with organizations that promote WIE. For the WFEO, for the FAIO, luckily I'm chairing the FAIO committee as well. We also have an executive body under the FAIO WIE that comprises all representatives from the 5 regions within FAIO. And so the executive body would align with the regional bodies within the FAIO. So I think we can have a chat on that just to make sure that all those, I think we have the representatives from the South Africa, we have a representative from West Africa, we have representatives from Central Africa also sitting. I think 2 other regions we do not have on the executive body. And so just like we have these regions within the WFEO, we also have the executive body under the FAIO regions, and we is represented on the executive body as well. So we can work with you on that to see how best we have the regional bodies within the FAIO regions represented we. I don't know if I've answered your question, but that's the strategy. And then how do we join with you? Oh, sorry, I think I'm done with that question.
Well, yeah, thank you, Chair. Actually, you were going to say about how do we join WFEO, so please go ahead. I mean, you are the chair, so.
Okay, so how do we join WFEO? As you all know, WFEO is the mother body for all the institutions, the engineering institutions in the world. And so all the countries, or depending on what your country engineering body is doing, the members of WFEO are the PEIs within the various 5 regions in WFEO. And so if you want to be a member of WIE, your institution has to nominate you to be a member of this committee. And we have seats for 3 representatives per country. We have a list of countries that are currently in good standing with WFEO, and we're making sure that all those countries are fully represented on the WFEO committee. For those who are not members of WFEO, WFEO under its strategy is doing well to make sure that it attracts all the engineering institutions to be able to become members of WFEO. Once you are a member of WFEO, we get the female representatives on our committee. And so our target is to ensure that each country which is a member of WFEO has 3 representatives on the WIE committee. That's our goal. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, I think it's fully answered. Thank you so much. And actually, I think Ivan has put a few hints on the chat. So don't hesitate to go to the WFEO.org becoming a member page, please, and you'll have all the information. So I don't see any more questions on the form, and I think we are really late now. So I will hand it to you, Ms. Chair. It has been a pleasure to be with you. Please just say a few words, final words, unless there are my colleagues who would like to take the floor, but I think I don't see any hand raised. So please, Chair.
I think, thank you very much. I would like to use this opportunity to thank us all for joining. I believe the objective is to just make sure that all of us as members of this WIE Committee understand our strategic objectives and make sure that all our activities are aligned accordingly to our strategic objectives so that we can move together to be able to achieve them. And the main goal is to ensure gender equality across all our regional or all our committees, and also make sure that wherever we are as engineers, we are working towards the achievement of gender equality and inclusivity in all our endeavors. So on this note, I would like to thank everyone for joining, and we hope you'll be able to join us again on 21st June when we have the 10th anniversary of International Women in Engineering Day. Thank you so much.